So when we talk about the hardware configurations, this is the hardware configuration what we require to run smoothly. Windows 10 64-bit, 64 GB, 32 GB, and minimum 16 GB of RAM we required. 256 GB SSD for the operating system drive, 2 TB SSD, NVIDIA RTX graphic card we require. This is a development tool package, right? That you can easily get download from the Unreal website. 6 core Xeon X5 to 6438 3.4 gigs. Which machines have 3.4 gigs? That easily we can use Unreal in that. Now, why the Unreal? Because nowadays lots of famous games has done into Unreal. Bioshock, Gears of War, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cells, Rainbow Six, Borderlands, Dishonored, Mass Effects, and many more games they have done into the Unreal. Into Unreal, there are different features are available, right? Uh, and with the help of Epic Game Launcher, I will explain you how you can easily download Epic Game Launcher and Unreal as well in that. This is the Epic Launcher. Only you have to do, you have to go into a Google, right? And you have to search Epic Games or the Unreal. Once you install the Epic Games, before the installing, you have to share our email ID for registrations. Unreal is totally free. We are not publishing any games. If we are publishing any games, so there are some loyalty charge which we have to pay to the Unreal, right? If our quarterly business is going about by $3,000 or $1,000, then 5% of the royalty we have to pay to the Unreal. But for the starter, for the learning, is totally free. Once you open the Epic Game Launcher, this is your screen. Once you log in over here, right, here we can see the Unreal Engine options over here. We can go to the YouTube, Answer Hub, Forms, Roadmap. What is a new content we have on Unreal? There are lots of different teams who are uploading continuous, the assets into the Unreal. What's new in Unreal? Everything features we are getting into this Epic Game Launchers. When we have to click on the learning, correct? Once we click on the learning here, easily we can access with the the YouTube link or the video tutorial for the Unreal, which video is trending as of now. Virtual reality screen is there, recently added. So lots of features we have into these Epic Games. Marketplace is the option where we can download assets. If you'll see, there are different tabs are available. We can go for the 2D assets, animations, blueprint, character, code plugin, environment. There are different browse options we have available. When we talk about the industry, architectural, automotive, trainings, and the film broadcast, live event. So what informations we require, we can easily get access from here. When we talk about the free, here we have Epic Game Contest, Megascan, which I will show you. Megascan also. Megascan is the Quixel software where we can easily import more than 14,000 of the 3D ready-made products into our games. That is also free. I like to inform over here, Megascan free product can use only in Unreal. If you want to use into any other 3D software, then we have to buy the license. But for the Unreal, it is totally free. If I click on the free for the month, it's showing me over here like what recently new assets have added, right? Permanently free collection. If I click over here, I can easily can download this file and get access into the Unreal. On sale we have, if we want to buy any purchase assets, then we can buy from over here. Submit contest, there are lots of contests is going on. It's directly launched me into a different uh, website where I can get more informations about the contest which is going on into the Unreal. Now we'll talk about something about the library. If you'll see, recently they have launched 4.260. That's nearby 12 GB of the software that we need to download. whichever version they have released, we can easily download from this help of this plus button. If I click on this plus button, you will see over here 4.24 is there. If I click over here after downloading, I'm getting this two option. One is a Unreal Engine 4.26.0, 4.25.4 what we have. We will work on this 4.254 over here, which I have over here. Over here I'm seeing over here my recently file which I've opened into the Unreal. What Megascan assets I have downloaded, I can see over here, right? Twin Motions, again, this is the by the Epic software, Epic company. Twin Motion is used for the architectural render. That is also the real-time render, RT render, we can say, right? Once I go to my library over here, if I click on the launch options over here, now what it will do, it will direct me into a next project, right? Still it is opening. I would like to show one video over here. This is done into the Unreal. There is a no audio, but if you see, this is giving the hyper realistic render into a real time for the automotive, for the movie, games, for the VFX we can use. This is what we have done into the Unreal. Once I click on the launch, I'm getting these options over here. First is a games, film, television, events, architectural, engineering, constructions, automotive, product and design. Each and every tab have their own templates, correct? When I talk about the games, what kind of the games I want to do a publish. If I do a double click on that, here we can see we have the first person templates, flying templates, puzzle, rolling, third person, top down, twin stick shooter, AR for the mobile phones, side shooter we have, two side controller, vehicle controller, virtual reality, vehicle advanced we have. So these are the different project set presets what we have. Now, when we talk about the default project, different options are available. Every time we start a new Unreal Engine product, we start from the templates. Each templates provide a basic starting point for a different type of project. First persons or third person shooter games, architectural visualizations, product designs we have over here. I'll just go my back. If I'll say film and television and live event, here we can see we have the virtual production side and display. I'll go back over here. If I'll click on the architectural engineering constructions, so these are the different presets what we have. What are the benefits of these presets? We already have some light features in that. We only have to import our object or the 3D model or actor. Automotive product design in the manufacturing. So there are different presets for templates are available over here. First, the project setting editor is divided up to into various categories and selection of related options. Categories are displayed as a handling, while each of the sections displays a hyperlink that opens the option for the selections into the editors. Now what I'll do first, I'll just open this blank and say next. Now this is really very important. Before starting any project, here we have to do our project setting. Now here first option is the blueprint. If I want to open my template with the or the project with the blueprint or the C++, right? Basically we can go with the blueprint over here. Here we have the maximum quality or scalable 3D or 2D. If we have the good graphic card, good amount of RAM in our computer, we can always have to go with the maximum quality because it helps us to understand what kind of the object quality textures we have applied in our scene. Ray tracing options we have. Might be if we are using a older version of the Unreal, there might be a different features, but into 4.25 we have this features, and same as into the 4.26. Ray tracing is also will take the high amount of the RAM while we are working in our projects. So it's depending upon our requirement if we want to turn on or disable. Here we have the desktop and the mobile, correct? So we are making a game for on which platform, for the mobile or for the desktop? As of now we are doing for the desktop over here with starter content and no starter content. Once I click over the no starter content, here we can see include the additional content package containing a simple placeable meshes. Here will not get much more amount or much more blueprint or the functional editor if we are using a no state content. We always go with the with state content because in Unreal we are importing different model from the different softwares, right? So we need to do this setting again. Blueprint will select maximum quality, ray tracing disable on and off, that is depending upon the requirement, desktop, and here we take with the no starter content or with starter content. Here we can select our folder. Here we can see the three dots over here. Once I click over here, I can set my project over here. What I need to give, I'll just give this to now training. This is my project name, and if I click on the create project, so it will take some time to open, right? If you'll see, there are lots of uh, presets with the good quality, which includes the lights, object presets will automatically will come in our project, correct? So I'll just we'll just wait for the 1 minute, it will get opens again. I'll just show just till this time open. I'll just show my presentations over here. Once we get or once we have finished our project setting, this is the like our welcome screen. This is how gonna look like in Unreal. If you'll see over here, here we have the different features available. This is a default project which I have did. If I'll change into a third person game, we have the different presets. Now here we can see we have the content browser. Content browser, we can say hub of the Unreal. Whatever we want to import, what we have added into our project, all different presets we have into the content browser over here. This is a placeholder, we can say a mode editor. Here we can add different mode. Basic we have, actors we have over here, player start, cube, sphere. If I click on the light options, we have the default light presets over here, directional light, point light, spotlight, rectangle lights, skylights, cinematic we have. Here we can put the rig for our camera. Visual effects, this is a default presets what we have into our Unreal. Sky atmosphere, exponential, different presets we have over here. Different tools where we can use this. Geometry we have, normally we can add this simple default object what we have. How I can use that, I just need to drag and drop on my screen on my project over here into my viewport, right? Now first I'll tell you the shortcut keys how you can use. W, if I'll press my right click and W, here you can see we are seeing into the game mode. Alt and the left click if I'm using the Maya. Shortcut keys if I want to add what I'm using into Maya, I'll go to my edit preferences. We'll go to the level editor and viewport. I'll just click over here. Here we have invert middle mouse button. If I just click over here, I need to turn on this just off. Now what I'm using into Maya, the same alt left click and the right click and the middle click will do. If I want to apply the Maya, W and right click. So I'm into a game mode. If I click, you can see over here I'm going zoom in and zoom out over here. I'll just maximize this my screen over here. Now if I want to reduce my camera speed into my viewport, I just need to select over here and give my speed value. It has to move 1 or 2. W again, left click or the right click here you can use. If you'll see, I can move my mouse, right click, W and the right click, Alt and the right click. Here I can do pan, here I can change orbit view. S, if I press and the right click, D, I'm pressing a D now. Again A and the left click, right click. With the help of the right click, I can rotate and orbit my screen. If I'm pressing a left click, I can orbit just going from left to right, and we are just zoom in, zoom out. Again W and the right click, here I can orbit my view. I can see a 360-degree of my view over here. F is a shortcut key for the focus to select it. Again, I just select and the delete. I just select my object and press F over here. Again, Alt and the middle mouse, I can orbit my view over here. Alt and the right click, here you can see I'm going into the gameplay options. Alt, left click, right click, right. Now this is the different geometry what we have over here. Sphere we can add, and best thing is automatically get snapped on the object. Here is the different options. Here we want to go into a snap to grid we required or not. What are the grid size or space we require? Here I can click over here. Middle mouse, I can just pan my view. I just change into a 50 or just one. It's showing me a distance between the grid. Here I can change it. This is my snap options over here. Here I can do the local and object mode. If I want to rotate my object into a local mode or different mode, here you can see this is into a world node. If I click on this local, now this is into the local. If I can move my object over here, so Unreal, everything is into the backlight. This is already a presets what we have over here. Correct. After moving any object, we are starting to get this error. Lighting need to be the rebuild unbuild object. I will show you how we can sort out this error. This is just the simple click which we have to do. First, we'll try to finish this mode tool. So this is the different modes which we have available over here: cinematics, lights, basic, all. If I'll say all access, so there are all access of this we have over here. Apart from that, different tools or objects we have into my all classes options. Now we'll talk something about the this viewport. F11 is the maximize mode. I'll press F11 again. Move, rotate, and scale. Again, this is a WER, or again you can space bar. Space bar 1, space bar 2, space bar 3. Here we can change our transform rotations mode over here. Right. Here we have the local and the world axis, which you have to do. I'll just select my scale local and the world axis. This is also depending upon the selection which we have to do. Open editor surface snapping option. Here I can do the surface snapping. If I'm moving any my object, it will directly snap to my surface. If you'll see now, it is directly snapping on the grid. This is the rotation angle. E. Here I'll just click over here. Here see we are rotating into the 10-degree axis. Control Z. Scaling options what we have. And this is the camera speed. If I'll make this into a 8 and say W and left click, it's gone very fast, right? So depending upon your requirement, we can reduce our camera speed. That is on the extremely right hand side of your corner. Like in Maya, here we have the 4 options. We just need to click all these options over here. Now here we have the 4 screen. First screen, second screen, and front view, top view, side view, and the perspective view what we have over here. Right. If I want to maximize this view, I just need to click on this small button on my right hand side of the view. This small button again over here. If I'll clicking this view, so I'm getting this 4 axis over here. I'll just click over here. Again, you will see So like into the Maya, I can, change my view requirement. I just select and delete my object over here. So when I just created that simple project, this is a different, each and every template have the different options, project, characters, scene we have. When we talk about over this tools over here, here we have the real time option. If I just rotate and see here, you can see my sky is moving. My sky is moving. So it's take very good amount of RAM to play. If I don't have a good amount of RAM, I'll turn off this options over here. Here it's indicating your real time is off. I just click over here again, my real time will on. Here we have show status, show FPS, frame per seconds, which we have. If I click over here, show toolbar, just click over here if you want to turn on and off toolbar. Slate, field of view, FO we have. Game view, G is a shortcut key for the game view. Now here we can see this different objects. It's already there in our project. This is the game start player. If I press G, so I'm into a game mode. I'm not able to see skylight, directional light, which I have used in my default project. This is the game view over here. G is a shortcut key for on and off. Here we can do easily turn on and off. I'll just drag this over here. Again, I'll click over here, field of view. We want to do into the immersive mode, game view. Again, I can do on and off from over here. Immersive mode, F11, maximize and the minimize. That also I can do from here, right? If I click over here, allow camera shakers, bookmark, I can book my view, jump to bookmark one. If you see the already shortcut is mentions. If you want to use this 1, 2, 3. Set bookmark. If I want to add my own my own bookmark, I can use that. Compact bookmark, clear all bookmarks, create camera here. If I say camera actor over here, now this will be my camera view. After clicking on that, I can see this is my camera view over here. If I just rotate or just scale it, again I'll click over here and just say camera view, camera actors, correct. So here we are getting this different option like how it's going to look like in our camera. Little bit small window will pop up over here. This layout again, like in Maya or any other 3D software what we have here, easily we can change over the layout as per the requirement. Advanced settings we have. Advanced setting, again the reference settings, project setting, click over here, preferences settings we have. So this is the same tools which we can find into our toolbar menu bar over here. This is my perspective that I can change into the top view as well. I'll click on this perspective. Here I can change my viewport. Camera actor 1, now I'm looking towards the camera. Camera actor 1, perspective is there. Default viewport, cinematic viewport. Here I can see my screen is get little bit uh, different ratio I received, right? I'm able to see this different viewport. Now here is a really very important options we have. This is the lit. Lit means what? In my scene, I can see the light, material, texture, reflections, shadow, right? Like what we are doing into the render pass is the same options we have over here. Here I have the options like how my screen and the scene is gonna look like. If I'll say unlit, here you can see the light is gone. Select this object, press F, Alt, and the left click. We can orbit over you. Click mesh wireframe. If I want to see into wireframes, I can see this wireframe over here. Default lighting, like what is a default light? Here we can see the materials become a default, light is become a default, but specularity is that reflections we are getting. So this is the like player collision. If you'll see, this is the player collision. If I'll say W and the left click over here, if that object is animated, right, so they need to do collide. So this is the default collide options we have over here. That also we can do if we are reporting from any 3D object from the different software. I'll show that also. If I want to import any 3D object from 3D Max or Maya into the Unreal. So here is a display look and feel what we have. Lit, again with the default light and options we have. Show, if I want to see anti-aliasing options on and off. show, fog, if you'll see, media, BSP, binary space partitions, collision, if you want to see. If I click on this collision, it's become into the wireframe. Right, I'll just maximize my viewport, show collision. If you don't want to see collisions, click over here. So like into the viewport, this is the different options we have. Once you open into any projects, they will have the same. I'm sorry, if you're opening any templates, they have the same options what we have over here. Correct. This is the place actor. Again, this is a mode actor. Now we'll talk something about our the world outliner over here. Sureshji, my screen and audio is clear, right? Sureshji?
Yeah, yeah. Your audio is clear, screen also visible.
Also visible. Okay, thank you so much for confirmations. Now, like into the Maya, we same way we have the our world outliner, like what assets we have in our project, how many lights we have in our scenes, different options, whatever we have in our scene, we easily will get the list from here. If I click on this audio, by default, audios is already added into the different project. Player start F. If I press F, this is my player start. Just in case if I want to add player start to where I'll just delete and I'll click in my move node and just say play start. I need to search into the mode node and just drag and drop over here. Again, it's the same way you have added the play start. So if I start to play my game, so this will be the my first screen. My camera will start from here. My actor will start from here. We can see we have the camera over here also. So again, this is the chair F. This is called the static mesh SM. Now, just below that, we have the detail editor over here. Like if I want to move my object, this is easily manually we can do from here. Now move, rotate and scale. WER, WER or space bar. If I'm pressing multiple time, I'm getting the different options, space bar. Now when we talk about the move, rotate and scale, the manual transformation sections of the detail panel, which is over here, you always has to view and edit the transform locations, rotation, scale of the selected actor. Also where applicable, this also contains the setting of for the actor mobility. Each transform property has numeric entry field for the XYZ. If I'm selecting multiple object, just for an example, I'm selecting this chair and the table. Here you will see multiple. Here we are not getting any value. Here we are getting the multiple selections, multiple value, right? So this is really very handy to understand like how many object I have selected in my scene. I have selected only one or the multiple object. Here with the help of this multiple, we can get more informations. Rotation fill. This rotation fill, I'll just select my chair as of now. Press F to focus on the selected. The rotation fills have unique ability to use as a slider. If I'll slider means I'll just select and use the slider over here. Correct. So move, rotate and scale, easily we can slide how much scale, rotations and uh, transform will required. The scale fill can also be locked by clicking the button. If I want to lock this, I just click over here. I need to select this my options, movable, scalable, rotations, world axis, relative axis. I can change that as well. Now here we are getting the mobility. It is depending upon the light. If I'm importing any light, so this three properties is really very important. Static means in my game or in my scene, my character is not going where I have created that light. Static means it will be the still. So there will be the no recast, no creations in that. Then we have the stationary. Stationary means what? It is easily get shadow if my character is entering my room, right? So shadow have to give effect on the shadow, that character shadow will come in the scene. So that is a stationary. This is the movable light, directional light, sunlight, atmosphere light, that everything is into the movable over here. If I go down, as I already told you, this is the static mesh into the Unreal. This is really very important. We need to give name to our object, otherwise we really get confused what in my scene how many object I have used. If I want to make a folder, or if I want to make a group, that I can select, for an example, I'll just select this my object chair. If I want to do a duplicate, alt and left click, so I'm duplicating it. Alt and duplicate, here you will see I'm duplicating it. If I'm pressing a shift and moving my object, my cameras is also moving with my selected object. Again, I'm saying I've selected my object. If I'm pressing a shift plus left mouse key and I'll move my object, here you will see my camera is locked to my selected object. And if I'm not pressing any shift key or alt key, I can easily move that. This is a snap to grid. I just turn that off. This is the radius. Stop this. See here, easily I can move. Here you will see we are snapping on the grid. Correct? Okay. So if I do the right click on my object, here will say lots of different variation. We have add event. This is a interface sessions. Very soon, every month we are planning to take more sessions on the Unreal. There are different level which need to understand. First is the user interface, then we have the level editor, blueprint, material, camera animations, first person game, second person game, right? Mobile VR we have. So very soon we will start with the other session as well. If I click on my right object, here we'll say we are getting a more options, correct? This is the static mesh over here. If I click over here, I need to replace from my static mesh to static mesh bush. I can do that recently, which I have added over here. So this has become my bush. That object has used the same texture which we have applied on the chair. Again, if I want to stack into the static chair, I can do that as well. So if I want to replace from my static mesh to anything, I can do that. This is the find matlab browse the same, where it is located in my content browser. This magnifications button is helping where my object is in my content browser. Here we have the material, right? Physics, we have simulations. If we are making any movement, that simulations we can do on and off. So there are multiple presets we have the collision, if it has colliding with any other object, or that we need to turn on and off. So different way we can modify our animations also. So there are different property, each and every properties is really important with the different features, correct? So if I'm selecting this table, press F. Here I can see the different objects, same property what we are getting. If I'm importing any default project, basic, for an example, I'm using this cube over here. Here we are getting this cube. If I want to replace for my cube to material sphere cube, here I can search. I use chair, static mesh chair. My object get placed over here. Correct. I have not created the duplicate. Again, if I want to change something into the previous static mesh, pyramid, I can do that as well. Select and delete. Select my object, press F. So that what we have into the outliner and to the detail property. Now we'll talk something about the content browser. Now what is the content browser? If you see, if I click this options over here, it is coming to the thumbnail and this is coming into the list. I just maximize my view. I can easily get place wherever I requirement my view. I can do that modifications also. My content browser also has to come over here, or I'll just drag it over here. Place actor, like what we are doing into the Maya or any other software, we can do the same way. Just alt and just S and the middle mouse key. If I select my camera here, automatically my view will open. What will be my camera view? Now we'll talk about the content browser. Content browser, as I already told you, it is a really very important in our scene. It has become the uh, hub for our Unreal. If I'm importing any object from any other 3D softwares or Max, Maya or Blender, first I need to import into my content browser. If I click on this content browser over here, by default we have architectural, different presets we have. I just drag and drop my this pillar what we have in the scene. With the help of this middle mouse, I'm not pressing alt and shift or anything, just middle mouse. I can do zoom in, zoom out. I can easily drag the wall whichever I require. Best thing is it is a snap to vertices. As and back here we can see this is alt and vertices. Audio we have. If I play over here, start this arrow, whatever we are seeing here, we are getting a more options. Play. If I click this arrow, we have the different options more into this. As of now, we are not doing simulations. We are just playing play. Correct. If you see the audio is coming, Sureshji, you can hear the audio.
Yeah.
Here we can hear the ambience audio. This
Hello.
is my game view. Yeah, Sureshji, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I'm pressing into the S and go over here, S and right click, right? I'm not pressing, I'm just moving my mouse left and right, up and down. I just go here. So this is again, I'm into my game view. Escape is the shortcut key for the normal view to come out from the game view to the scene view. If I select this F, again I will press escape. So my selection will go. Correct. So if I want to unselect, escape is the shortcut key for that. Now we have the audio. If I just drag this audio, play, just drag and drop. Here we have the different blueprint, HDRI map we have, maps we have, different level we can edit. We can create our own layer. I will try to create one simple level for you. This is the different material presets we have. I can easily, if I want to change my this table color, drag and drop over here, press F, selections. Here we can see this materials get changed. Just maximize my content browser. I just drag my, I will apply that map over here. Here we can see this is everything into the real time. Particle presets, what we have, just drag and drop over here. If you'll see, I'll move my particle. This is compiling shader. It will take some time. Props we have the house, we have this grass bush we have over here. We have this table, this content, we have the rock. I can create a cave with this simple cave with the help of this rock. This is taking compiling, so automatically our textures and material will come over here. Different shapes we have, what we have into the mode node, the same we have over here. We have the textures. I can edit these textures. I can apply to different nodes into the material editor. Now if I click over here, here we have the import. If I want to import any object or material, I just click on this import. I need to give the directions. I need to give the, the path where I have downloaded my objects. Save all. This is my content. If I click over here, what options we have, the same we have over here. Content browser, just architecturals. Here we can see now the texture is applied to that ground object. Just let me maximize my view. Here we can see it is already applied to my ground. Press F11. So same options we have after the content. We want to go into the developers or starter content. If I click over here, you want to go audio, is there the same option what we have? We have the same over here. Maps we have. So that is into the content browser, correct? Now what we'll do, we'll try to do the menu now. What options we have into the difference? We have save current, source controls, mode we have. As of now, I'll just start in my scene first. What I'll do, I'll just simply create one cave scene over here, correct? So it is really very easy to understand. If I want to do the scaling rotations, I'll just select my object. I just delete my view. I don't require this camera. I'll just search into the content editor. I'm just using for the rock. I go my content. Here we can see we have this rock over here. I simply placed my rock over here. If I want to make a duplicate, Alt, move arrow. Here I can do. Now this time I will use the top view. Click on this. Select, move this. Select Alt, move. I do not require the snap to this my object, right? Alt and just drag this. Alt and drag this. Alt and drag this. Alt and drag. Again I will select and go to the my perspective view. Here we can see this all are the same, so I need to do little bit more variation that I can do after or the previous. This is depending upon the requirement. Select and make it 30 or 40 degree. We just need the scale or smaller in the bigger rocks we have. Small, select, just scale this one, scale over here. I'll just select and delete my ground. As of now I do not require, correct? I'll just go zoom in and zoom out. Here we can see this is really very easy. I'll just Alt and move. I'll just do the scales over here. Scale, reduce it, rotate it into the 90 degree, scale it a little bit more, 0. I'll put over here. Alt and just drag this. Alt and drag. And everything is into the real time. Shift, select, shift. Again, I'll require to do a little bit more, 3 to 4 row over here. Just select. If you'll see F11, everything is into the real times with the good amount of the textures what we have. Now, if I want my player in my scene, I do not have any player. I'll just say player start and drag and drop over here where I need to start my player, right? Select this and say play. Now here we can see our player is, this is I'm right now into my game mode. Here I can add the plant, bush, everything which I require to add, I can do that. This is just the UI sessions. Here we can do rotate that as well. I can maximize my screen, just rotate here, do little bit variation so it's gonna look like a little bit more randomness. Again rotate, select over here, alt and drags. So this is, if you'll see, this is the simple cave scene. Still, if we spend more time, we can create more, the prototype game. But this is the powerful, power of the Unreal. We can get on very easy. This is a prototype game we can do. Now, if I select my sunlight and do the rotation here, we can see everything is into the real time. Here, no need to get render. Sorry, correct? I can change the textures. I can edit the lights. I can give the new. I can add the new asset as well over here. Press S and the right click. Escape. We not to select anything over here. Now we have the something node over here. Node, we have the landscape. If I'll click on that, in my scene I have not any landscape over here. So this options we have landscape, and just say click on the create. Now what will do, it create a landscape in my scene. This is again compiling the shadows over here. If you'll see over here, now this is my landscape. I just delete. Now if I want to add, right, if I want to do a push and pull to my landscape, so after creating that, we have the manage sculpt. We have, if I just little bit zoom out here, you can see this is my brush. I can decrease the brush radius over here, little bit more radius. Here we can see, here we are creating the mountains over here. We have the smooth options over here. We can maximize the smooth as per our requirement. We have the flatten, so this automatically will flat my curvature or my smooth object. Here we have the ramp. This is really very fantastic tool. Ramp, if I'll say drag and drop, this is the my start and the end point. Correct. I'll just little bit do add ramp. I'll just drag it on the little bit on the back side, and I'll just move this upside. Correct. And say add ramp, move, add ramp. Here you can see my F11. I'll just maximize viewport. Now my landscape is now with the escape. A F11. I'll just come out from that sculpt mode. I can do a little bit more sculpting over here. You little bit more softness. I'm going in that area. I can do paint in F11. So this is the slant I have created with the ramp. See, like most probably you have seen the Counter Strike game, so they always have this slant in that area. F11 again. Ramp we have, illusions we have, again increase the strength over here. Circle radius, if you want to increase, it's a little bit more. Let's settle with the 2000 something. Right. Noise, if you want to add any noise, Control Z, small, just click on that. Decrease the radius a little bit more. Strength, we can reduce it. We just need to slide over here. A little bit more strength we can increase. So that will get into the mode, landscape node, right? We can do the paint also if you want to smooth, flatten, noise. We can do the sculpting as well. new landscape. Even if I want to add new landscape, that I can do that as well also. Landscape, I'll just delete that. So this is my scene and my cave over here. If I want to create it, that I can do that as well. I'll select my landscape if I want to scale it down or I want to do a transform. Select and just reduce where you want to place this textures, materials. Just pull this up so that we can do with the landscape. We have foliage. As of now, I don't have any foliage in my scene or in my content browser. I can easily drag and drop my foliage from my content browser to foliage options over here. If I click over here, this is the brush setting mode. Brush setting. This is a mesh paint. Now, sometimes what happens, lots of people are question is that if I need to edit my object, Unreal is not the the modeling software, but in Unreal there are default presets in terms of if I want to do extrude, that I can do that. So as of now, what I'll do first, I'll just select my landscape, delete F. I'll just select my rock from the list, from the outliner, shift and select, and I'll delete. I do not require anything in my scene. For an example, I'm just taking a simple cube, press F. Now, if I want to edit this modifications, correct? So what I have to do, I have to go to the mode. There are no modeling options available in the menu bar, correct? So what I have to do, I need to download. Sometimes what happen, it is still into a beta version, some plugins. If I click on this plugins option into edit plugins, so there are various plugins are available which we have to download or we have to select as per our requirement. For as of now, if I require the mesh edit tool, I'll select the mesh, edit mesh, mesh painting, polygon edit tool. Yes, here you can see this is into the beta version 1.0. Modeling tool editor mode. Yes, I'll just select this beta version and say restart. After enabling all the plugin, Unreal need to restart. If I click on the restart, then only it will come. As of now, I do not require save my scene, so I'll click not to save. So our Unreal will restart and we will get the modeling option in mode menu. I just simply show my desktop. It is opening up. Till that time, what I'll do, for an example, this is the one simple shape which I have created. Okay. I'm sorry, some messages are coming up. This is one shape which I have created into a 3D Max or any Maya software. If I want to import into Unreal, see, when we are before importing into the Unreal, it has to the UV has to be the properly open into respected software. So this is the simple, the cube rectangle which I have created. Now simply I'll apply the unwarp UVW map, correct? I'll go over here and say open UV editor and simply I'll say options, modeling and the flatten mapping. So my UVs get, the open over here. Now what I'll do, I'll just unselect file, export selections. If I click over here, just minimize, let's see that Unreal is opening up. Yeah, this is open. Select, close. Now here we can see we have got our modeling options, correct, into a modes modeling options. We need to turn this on from the plugin edit plugin. Now into the mode, we have the different option. If I'll just drag my move over here, actually I'm using a multiple screen, right? So I just minimize the viewport. If I'll say polygon, click over here we are getting freehand, interactive, extrude, circle, square, we have complete primitive tool. If I want to add, you can see over here, this is already snapped. Here I do not need to do a snap. This is automatically come. Cylinder, if I want to add cylinder over here, I just need to move and select which area I require to add. We have cylinder, we have cone over here, we have rectangle over here, disk, we have simply disk we can add. So there are lots of options we have over here. As of now, I have the box over here. I'll just select escape, enter. So this box is automatically came snap to grid on my vertices. So there are multiple options are there into a modeling. We can draw, we can do a polypath also. I'll just select, I'll just maximize my viewport over here. Snap, click. This is specially used for when we are making a wall. The point is left. 1, 2, 3. Here we can do snap to grid is on, just reduce it into whichever object I've created, it will automatically add it into the my content generated. If you see this, so no need to save, it automatically will come into my content. Go mode, modeling menu is there. Again, I'll just maximize my viewport, escape, enter, select this object and delete. F and just delete that part. Alt, left click, right click, left click, select this object, press F, right click, I can move this sessions over here, right? So this is really very easy and simple way to understand the UI of the Unreal, right? This is really very simple. Now I was talking about if I want to importing any object, right? So what I'll do, I'll select or any object which simple shapes I've created. I'll go to the export selections. It has to into the FBX, go to the desktop for Unreal, which I've just created by default. This is just a 1 second, this is not responding. For Unreal, this is the box, double click. Here is the one setting which we need to understand. We need to turn on these three options into a geometry: smoothing groups, tangent, and bionormals. Preserve edge orientation, so my vertex and my edge orientation will be the same. Here I have to use latest FBX 2019. If I click over here, so which product, or if I want to import this object which I've created into a Max, if I want to import into a Maya or any other Autodesk software, so it is indicating over here 2019 applicable FBX plugin, correct? So this is really very handy to use that. Just a little bit slow. Drag this over here and say click on the OK. Now what I'll do, I'll go to my this content over here. If I want to make a new group, I need to click on this add new. Here I, from this list, I can add particle system, material, level, blueprint, new C++, new folders, foliage, if you see over here. So first of all, what I do, I'll just make a new folder. So I'll click on this add new and click on the new folder, and I'll say 3D underscore model. And yeah, you can't give space. If I give the space here, will showing us some error. You can't give space in Unreal. Say 3D model, just double click on that and click on this import. I need to go on my desktop for Unreal box, double click over here. Here we are getting the option. If I'm importing animated character, I need to turn on these options. into my mesh, skeletal mesh. Now I'm just importing only one cube, right? So I have not used bones in my 3D max files. I'll just say import all over here. Now here we can see this is easily come over here. The color is there. I'll just drag and drop over here in my vertices. I'll just select and delete that. I'll just drag my object over in my scene, press F. Here we can see this is simply project imported from 3D software. Now the best thing is what I have already opened the UV. So I'll just search wood textures. 3D model, this is a wood texture, just need to drag and drop. So simply it is so easily apply over here. Here you can see, correct? I'll just need to drag on this, that I can do that. Now that way we can import FBX into the content editor. It's better to always create a folder structure in your content editor, correct? I need to drag and drop. Here we are getting an option you want to move or the copy, correct? That option is also available over here. If I do the right click on my object, any object into the content browser, here we have the option re-import level of detail. LOD means level of detail, which is really very important. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll understand what is a static mesh. If I do double click on this my object, double click, so this window will open. This is my static mesh options, correct? If I'm double click, what I'll do, I'll just drag to drop over here so I can see my scene view, and this is my static mesh editor, correct? If I'll click over here, if I want to do the level of detail to my object, I can do that. Level of detail is useful when we are using the lots of foliage in our scenes, right? Once I zoom out from my scene, so automatically level of detail will get reduced on that object, that is we'll call the LOD. Now once I click on this file, we have the different menu bar over here. We have the file, save, save as, open, choose file to save, connect to source control, edit, undo, copy, paste, edit preferences. We have project setting, plugin manager we have over here. Then here we have the asset reference viewer, assets, size map, what size I have used in that. Here you will see you have the UV channels too, mesh, audit asset, shaper, re-import box. Collision is really very important. This is box, right? So if I need to click box simplified collision, I need to click on this. Here you can see this is automatically converted. Green color outline came on my cube, correct? Here we have collision. We need to turn on this collision. Click say save collision, click on this save. Now if I go over here and just press S, I just double click on this my objects, mesh, collision, 10 DOP. We have generate a new axis. This 10 DOP means generate a new axis, align box collision max with the 4 x-axis align, 10 total sides. This is means 10 total size, x side, y side, z side, 10, 18 side, correct? So this is the 18 sides. It will create the collision editor. Just click over here, collision bond. We have socket here, socket. We can see the XYZ over here. If I move to move my collisions over here, wireframe, I can see my view into wireframe, vertex color, show pivot point, show normals. Here you can see we are able to see the normals, tangents, bionormals, vertices. If I want to see the vertices, UV, UV editor, UV channel, UV1, generate UV. You can generate the UV as well over here, show gizmo, correct? See, this is the UV modifications. I just close this. Static mesh, we need to double click on this object into the content browser. Static mesh editor will open over here. For an examples, what I'll do, I'll select F. I don't know uh, where it is located into my content. I need to select my object. Go over here, click on this magnifier options, click on that. Automatically it will show where it is located in your content editor. Double click. Again, static mesh will get open. Select this object. Collisions, if I'll say collisions, show collision, here we can say this is the collide. We are not doing any simulation as of now. This is simply the UI user interface, how we can with the help of the simple tools, what are the different features available into the Unreal, how we can get start from the Unreal. Suresh, my audio and screen is clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So before anything, what we have to do, we always have to do the mesh editings. We have edit mode. If I want to do edit over here, toolbar, save. Here you can see this is applied over here. LOD auto, level of detail LOD means highlight you want to give or not. So drag and drop over here. So that was the static mesh editor. Again, if I select this object and if I say where it is located in my scene, double click, again it will open over here. Now once we'll do the simulation, that time again we need to open this and we will see the more detail about this static mesh editor. Select and delete. Correct. So into the mode, we have the modeling options over here. Double click. We have brush setting, we have landscape. If we want to create the landscape, we need to click on this create. This is also the depending upon the size and the chords, how much size and chords do we require. 256, here we can see increase the size. 7 quadrille is there. 2 sections, 1 sections, this is depending. Number of the components, overall resolution, if we reduce it, you will see the scaling reduce automatically. So I have created a very small size landscape over here. So create. Here we can see now we have very small landscape. Select and delete. I need to come out from that mode, selections mode, select and delete. Correct. Now here we have the setting, world setting, project setting, plugin setting. If I click on this world setting, again the setting will get open over here. World settings, game mode, how much game mode we require, setting, project setting. This is my project setting which I require to do if I want to change the color or any shortcut keys which I need to apply over here. Right here we have the mega scan options. I'll show that after some time. Here we have the blueprint. If I want to make my own blueprint, that also I can do that. Blueprint, if I click over here, it will pop up a new window. It's kind of the event graph editor. Here we have to create graph. If you know the C++, it's okay. Otherwise they have a lots of normally event graph get input from the event graph. If you see over here, we already have the lots of different presets. Very soon we'll take the sessions on the event graph over here. Right here we have to save in event graph. Whatever you do, we have to click here. Now you can see now this is the the check mark yes on is came over here. That means it's saved. Blueprint is there. Cinematic, if I want to see a timeline in Unreal, I need to go into cinematic. I just create my screen over here. Cinematic, add master sequencer, add level sequencer. Just click on say save. Here we can say we have created the timeline. If I've given the animations to my camera or object animations like in Maya or any 3D software like what we are seeing in graph editor, the same functionality will come over here. Correct. If I want to create the new camera, just need to click on this camera over here. Camera access is showing over here. If I need to do the animations, we need to give the keyframe. Correct. New blending with the camera actor editors. So that is what we can do into the sequencer. First, we need to understand what is the which tools are used for what. Cinematics. When we talk about the build, for an example, in my scene, I'll just change my directional light. Now we'll see something more about the direction. Let's search directional light, light source, directional light. Yeah. If I rotate this directional light, right? As already you know, we were used to get some error over here, real time, bit time, right? If I'm moving my object over here, just in case if you are facing any error, correct? So what we have to do, we have to go into this build light info. Just one second, I'll just maximize this. I need to go into my build options, building lights only. If I click over here, what it will do, it will recache, rebake my light, because I moved my light. I have added object over here. If you'll see that the shadow and the light will bake over here again. After calculating that, it will calculate re again. Lighting will completed over here. For an example, if I'm adding one more light, point light, which I have added in my scene. Now press F. I'll just go a little bit into the modifications, outliner. Like normally we are getting the same properties what normally we are getting into the light, right? Detail, just click over here. Intensity, what kind of intensity do we require in our scene? Just drag it over here. Light color, select, and we can change the light color. Say okay. Source radius, if we want to change the radius, we can do that. This is the reset. Yellow, click over here. Default value. Source length, I can do that as well. Use temperature. Indirect intensity, here we can reduce on and off that, make it compatible. Rendering, do I require my light has to be the render? Yes, and on and off I can do. Actor hidden in the games, this will get hide if I'm using the blueprint or any trigger, right? Now see, trigger means what? If my character, for an example, I've created one room. In that room, one character is entering. After it's once it's enter, I want my automatic my room light will get on. So we need to use trigger for that, right? With the help of, here we can see a box trigger we have. For an example, what I'll do, I'll scale it into, this is the not renderable. Here we have to give the blueprint. This is just a small example which I'm just showing you. This is a simple one trigger. If my character is outside of this, the outline, once is enter in my scene, my light will get automatically on. So we have to add this trigger with blueprint. In the blueprint, we have to give command what will be my in and out. Correct. That is very simple. I'll just select and the trigger over here. I'll select my light, point light over here. Here we have the performance light functions, so different properties we have over here. Now, if you see, as I already told you, this static, stations, and the movable light, we have the three different light options over here. I'll just open my light, this options. If I'll say a static, right, my light will be the static, it will be the non-movable shadow, and the specularity, everything will be the same. If I'll say unlit, this is the normal, again lit. If I'll create the directional light, now this time what I'll do, I'll create a spotlight over here, create the spotlight, just drag it over here. If you'll see, this is automatic a stations light. Movable light, directional light, I'll create a directional light. If I'll say movable light over here, this will get real time effects in my scene. But we always have to remember that movable light will take more amount of time to cache or the bake, correct? So that is also depending upon the hardware which we have in our computer. So that is depending upon the light. We want to use static light. If we want our light is not moving, shadow is fixed, our characters are not going into that particular area, that time we can use the static light. Stations light we have, that is a mobility. Movable light, like the torch light, that is the movable light. If we are creating with the help of the spotlight, so we have to do into the movable light. This is the light intensity. Here we can play with the different light intensity, right? Now what I'll do, I'll create the new project this time and go to the game. Here I will use the third person game this time. Ray trace, enable, content, with starter content this time for the default, and say create. Don't save, I'm not selecting this my scene. Now here we will see, in this third person game, character is already built up. The scene have the different cube box with the different materials and the graphs in that. Take a little bit time to get open. Then after we will open the flight game. So like this is the different project, different presets available into the Unreal. And it is really very easy, trust me, respected faculties. Once you start this Unreal, you need to understand first the UI, because that is the really very important. If you see over here, this is my scene, I'll press F11, F11 over here. Here you see this is my third person game. If I'll move this my cube over here, now this is what I was talking about. See, light need to be rebuilt because I have moved my object, but if you'll see, this is again calculating my previous shadow. So what I'll do, F11, to scale this, build, and say light, building light only. Just click on that. Build. In build, we'll get that options. What it will do, it will recalculate shadow and the other property. It will recalculate. If you see, once it's done 100%, we will not able to see this error. See now, correct? So this is also depending upon your the graphic card which you are using it. Now if you'll see, if I'll say arrow this, and if I want to play this, select and say play. Again W is there. If you'll see, this spacebar is for the bounce. If you'll see, there are multiple event given to this character. If you'll see, it is jumping up and down, it's not going flying into the space, it is coming down. So there are lots of event is given to this. If I'll say spacebar, this is my third person game. Again, if you'll see, this is the dynamically connected over here. This is a the gaming controller when we are playing into the PlayStations on WWS A D. Now G is from the escape to come out from this camera view. If I'll say new project this time, games, this time I'll use the vehicle and say new project. I don't require the ray tracing as of now. I'll just say create over here. Do not save. So we can open this template, or we can create the extremely new level. New level means I'll create from the scratch. After this project, I'll show you that how you can create your own level. In terms of in Unreal, it's also work on the world light, right? The real scale light into the physical. It is like kind calculations of the mathematics algorithm they have applied in that. If you see this over here, this is my scene. Here I want to add more objects or elements in this. I'll go F11 again. Again, if I'll say play, W, left click, WSD. This is a simple. In my very soon after the few sessions, you will able to make this kind of the games very easily. S again, it's going up. If I'll press tab, I'm watching towards. I'm through this mode. Select S over here again. Again, you can press tab W S. This is the simple game. If you will see the different, the element is they already have added. If you see, this has become a more dynamic over here. Here we can see the car movement. Correct. Escape to come from the game out view. Now I'll create a file again, the new project. Now this time we'll start with the blank scene. I do not require any object in my scene. I will create the new level this time. So what is the important of the level editor? Level editor is the options where we can create our own lighting setup, object setup. Like you have seen into the different templates, there are pre request, the light project and assets are there. So for the game assets, what I'll do, add new. Here I can add the new level. Click over here. Once you click on the new level, always we have to give the name. Right click and say rename. Escape. Right click and say rename. test. This is my test. If I do the double click on that, here we can see this is new level is open. Unreal is also worked on our real light scales. If there is a no light, everything is the black. So what I'll do, I'll just create a basic shapes. For an example, I'll just drag my cube over here, scale over here. And if I'll say unlit now, right? Again, scale, reduce it down, scale it as per your requirement. Right? Again, click on this unlit. Now I have not added light in my scene. I'll go to the light. I will use directional light. Here you will see it's again asking lights need to be rebuilt. Means again you need to go build lightings only. Now after that I will add the atmosphere fog. If you'll see the ready-made presets, it's building a lighting calculations. Correct. Here if you'll see now we are getting this checker color in that. Correct. Great. Now what I'll do, now I'm making my own level, right? So I've added first one cube over here. That will be my ground. Now I will add this time I will add the atmosphere fog in my scene. Just drag and drop. If you'll see, if I'll rotate my this view here, you'll see the fog is added in my scene. I'll just select my atmosphere fog and just pull it just to a 000 transform. That is always best way to keep which is the default property into a 000. Now what I do, which directional light I have created, right? So I need fog has to, my directional light fog has to attach with my fog light. So click on that. Here we can see now if I'll rotate my directional light, press F, see, this is giving me a realistic view. My fog is following my directional light. This is very simple, guys. Now what we'll do, now here we will add more sphere reflection. Sphere reflection capture. It gives motor a little bit more realistic into my light bounce over here. I'll remove my fog. We add sphere reflections. Again, pull this into the 0, 0, because otherwise always we have to, the select focus on the selected object. To get why we have created this sphere reflections, because we will get accurate reflections in our scene. Now plus we will add the skylight in our scheme, if you see, correct. And I'll just make this to a 0, 0 and 0 over here. If I want to add HDRI light to my skylights, I just need to say the spherical ramp, click over here, HDRI light. Again I need to calculate, again showing build lights only. Now if you'll see, if we open any project template, they have the same light setting what we have over here. Now what I'll do, I'll just import simple chair in my scene. See, it's again asking because whenever I cache that light, that time my object was not there. So every time whenever I add my object or do some modification into my light or the object, I always have to do light catch up. Correct. Now what we'll do, we'll add the more, if I'll zoom out here, I'm able to see, a little bit more exposures control. Here we have the exposures control, field of view, gamma view, bookmark, create. Just click real time. If I do not move my sky into the real time, I can just click on this, the real time options. Show we have, lit we have, gamma setting here we have, lit, unlit. If I click on this gamma setting here, you will see my exposure is automating, changing as per my view. Here you'll see it's become a little bit more brighter over here, right? Okay. So here I will add one more. This is the called the post process volume. Now, why I've added the post process volume? For an example, I've created, a different cave or room in my scene. If I'm going zoom in and zoom out, if I'm going inside that, so automatically it will get, brightness and the darkness will come, because as per, if we look sun towards for the 5 to 10 seconds, then again if we'll see any wall, it's gonna be little bit, it will start from the little bit blackout, correct. So this is the post process volume we need to give whenever we create any scene over here. Make again this to a 0, 0, 0. It's better to have, this setup in our level, right? Now into the post process, here we have the exposures, right? Post process, I just need to type, if I require anything, I just need to type into my this placeholder. Into my exposure, if I go down here, we have the maximum brightness and the minimum brightness. I need to make sure it has to be 1 for the maximum and 1 for the minimum. Now what I'll do, I'll just move rotation my directional light over here. Again I'll do build bake lights only. So this is the level editor which I have created. I can import any object, any characters, you know, in my scene. If you see over here, if I'll go zoom in, zoom out, my exposure will be the same with the help of this post process volume exposure 1 and 1. Here we can just type to search over here exposures, distribution exposures, correct? So okay, now we'll see something about the more the basic of the material editors, right? How the material editor we can make, what are the different options are available into the material editor, right? So what I'll do, I'll go to my container or I right click over here, right click, add new material. I need to click on this content browser, click on this material. I'll say m underscore test, enter. I'll just remove this chair from my this m test. If I do double click over here, you will see, I'll just drag scene over here. Now here you will see this is again become a very simple into the material. See, into the Unreal, it's work on the physical base material, right? Into the real time, if I press L and the left click, that way I can change my direction of the light of the default material editor. Here you will see, press cylinder, my object will become the cylinder L. So that way I can change my light directions. If you see this arrow over here, this become a plane, this will become a cube, and this will be again, you need to select the mesh over here. We need to select mesh for that. Now how this material editors work, we have to give different, the utility nodes to this material, right? So for the material editor, if you see on your right hand side, these are the different options we have into the material editor. If you see this U means the shortcut for that particularly materials. Now what I want to do, I want to do a edit a textures, right? So I'll just press wood in my list. Now if I want to import this material in my material editor, so what I have to do, I have to select that. After selecting, it's become a this yellow color. I'll go my material editor, press M and left click. So it's become a, the multiplier. If you see, just 1 second, this is the L we have to press. Select this material, left click, L means the lead. Here we can import the two different materials together. I just, refresh the screen over here. I don't require the T, delete. Select any material which come into T, left click. Yes, texture sample. It takes some time, 2 to 3 seconds. You will see that texture will come over here. Select this, press T. I'll select this material, press T and left click. T and left click, texture settings. Now here we have the two different. See here you can see this automatically will came into the gray shade textures map. Again I'll just select any of this material, press T and left click. So that way I can import material from my content browser. I'll just select and delete that node over here. So this way I imported two different material. If I'll press 3 and left click, so here we are getting a 3 constant value. Here you can say I'll change into this pink color, red color, correct? I'll press this arrow over here. See here, Now what I'll do, I'll just drag this output. I'll just move aside this, drag this output into my base color. Here you will see my color will get changed, right? If again I'll select and change any textures and the materials over here, let's try that one more time. Select and the delete. Simple. I'll go to my content browser. Oh, I'm using the selecting the object. I need to select this material. Press T and left click over here. Yeah, now it's done. And just move this aside. Select, click, Alt and select so we can delete the break connections. Now what I have to do, I have to use this to material in my scene. Correct. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll create three and left click. So basically this will come into the pure white color. I'll just make this into the 111. If you'll see my RGB become a 11 over here. Now I'll select M and left click. This will be my multiplier. Now I want to apply this two texture in this base color. Correct. I want to apply these two map texture into my base color. So I've created multiply M left click, 3 left click. I'll select my textures from my scene, press T, so that will come over here. So now first of all, what I'll do, my this constant value which into RGB is 111, I'll drag this into the my multiplier options A. Correct. Now I'll press this into my A. Now here you will see uh, multiplier, then L left click. L is a linear output value. L linear output value. I'll drag this color into my base color. As of now, I have not added textures to my lab material. Just click over here. I'm just dragging. My RGB will go to my alpha. This has to come into my alpha, and this my A will go to my B. I'll just press this. Here you can see we have used this two textures in our single object. Just 1 second, I'm just applying. Here you can see over here. Now if I'm changing that color into this blue color and say OK, here you can see we have applied two textures into my base color, right? Now see, I'll just go through this one more time. Now I created new material, right? In content, new material editor. Once you create the new material editor, it's gonna be something like do material test. If you do double click on that, material editor will get open. Now if I want to use two different materials same together, or if I want to apply this same to my base color over here, I'll just directly create that. If I want to use any textures, so I have to do different calculations in this material editor. M left click, multiplier. L left click, the same option we have over here. I'm not creating from outside. If you'll see over here, multiplier, if I'll click on this, see this is multiply is already there. If I'll just move this my the webcast, see M is already there. Correct. So this is the different setting we can do with the help of this material. We can physical X material we can do. Correct. So this constant material will go to the multiplier. Now here is benefit. I'll just drag and drop to my base color. Here you will see we have become this multiplier, these two colors. This blue color is there, this texture sample is there, right? If we apply the previous node, correct? My lap into my base color. So that way we can use these two texture together. That is already we have into the multiply. And always remember, we always have to use apply and save.